welcome back, folks. It is 5:15 on this wonderful Wednesday. I'm Josephine Sage. Let's jump right into the hump day forecast. Taking a look at America's Mattress Live Tower Cam. It's still a little bit dark outside, but our sunrise is getting earlier and earlier in the day, which means that we're going to see some clear skies, maybe a little bit of some cloud coverage as we get into the morning once that sun comes up on over the Grand Mesa. And for the rest of today, as well as for the rest of this week, you're going to see just a little bit of cloud coverage over the western slope. And our weather headlines are still the same of what we were looking at yesterday. We've got these spring-like conditions south of I-70, so all along Grand Valley, all the way down to Montrose. That includes Cedar Ridge, Delta. All those areas are going to stay with these warmer temperatures closer to our seasonal averages. Up north of us in that Park range, that Gore range, even those that Elkhead range, and Steamboat, Craig, Meeker, those areas still have those cooler than their seasonal average temperatures and a chance for a little bit of some showers today and could possibly turn into a little bit of some snow accumulation. The end of the work week could bring some precipitation to the Grand Valley as well. It's really only going to be rain for us with some warmer temperatures, but in those higher elevation areas upwards of 8,000 feet is when those that precipitation could turn into a little bit of some snow. And getting into our current temperatures, 27 degrees in Grand Junction. It's feeling 29 in Montrose. Further east of us, it's still a little bit cooler. We're down in those teens and those 20s along those central mountains, and our wind speeds are also feeling pretty mild. It's all less than 10 miles an hour throughout this morning, and later today we might have a little bit of an uptake in wind speeds, but it's going to be less than 15 miles an hour. And in some of those higher elevation areas over the ridges, it could get up to 40 mile per hour gusts, so a little bit stronger if you've got any of those travel plans expected for today. Our pollen forecast is also still the same. We are expecting a little bit of an increase in tree pollen as we kind of wrap up this week due to these drier, warmer temperatures sticking around, but the rest of everything is looking to stay pretty moderate in terms of allergies. And our almanac will show us our high today, 54 instead of our typical 56 on the low end, 29 instead of our typical 30. And getting into our dog walking forecast, folks, at 9 a.m. it's going to be feeling 38 degrees, noon 50, and 3 p.m. it's going to be feeling 52. So we're going to get right up to those seasonal averages as we get into those later afternoon hours. Our overall setup, this is for tomorrow, folks. We've got the system kind of continuing to move on through, leaving us with some clear skies in Colorado, and this big system is going to start moving over that Great Lakes. And tonight we're going to get 30 degrees in Grand Junction, 27 in Montrose, and that's actually going to continue to be the trend as we get into the next 48, 72 hours, and through the weekend we're going to stay right up there close to that freezing point for the lows during the evening. Our snow potential, though, we'll notice here, we've got a lot of it kind of focused up with that system I was just chatting about all the way through Thursday night, but along those northern mountains, that's where we've got a little bit of a chance for snow here on the western slope. And we'll notice off the west coast here, over by Seattle, Medford, we've got this closed low that could be moving on in later in the work week, because as we take a look ahead, it's going to start moving in late Thursday night and into Friday, and we'll notice as soon as it hits Colorado, that's when it's going to give us a little bit of some precipitation, but it is looking like we're not going to have too much of a cold front. Those warmer temperatures in those mid to upper 50s are here to stay.